Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the major announcement of Colonial Impact Wrestling's programming future. I am your Colonial champion, Sean McCarty, aka the Colonist. And I promised you all that this would not just be an announcement, but it would be a major announcement. And my major announcement isn't that Adam Cole's going to walk in and give a major announcement. No. Because when I promise something, I deliver. Now, in the fallout of CIW versus TAW, which is a very respectable feud that he and I had, and we have now put that to rest, what does the future hold for CIW, its champions, its challengers, and everybody in between? Well, I got to thinking about what's going on and what happened after CIW versus TAW, and I spoke with our fearless leader and chief financier, Michael Corleone, and Mike wanted to take a break. He deserves a vacation, as does Kevin James. So both of them have decided to take a 2-month break to Italy, which is going to span all of April, all of May, and probably like half of June, roughly. So they're going to have some time off to themselves, get themselves relaxed. Hopefully Kevin James will be able to rehab some of his injuries, which he suffers pretty much constantly at the hands of CIW wrestlers, most of the time by accident, most of the time. But what this means is that we have something major planned for CIW. And that is something that we are bringing back, something we have not done in a couple of years now. And we're going to do a little bit of yes and action, because I am here to announce excitedly that starting May 1st and going all the way until June 17th and 18th, we are bringing back the King of the Spring tournament, baby. That's right, 32 men, all for a chance at ultimate glory of winning the biggest tournament ever held and will be completed in CIW history. And I'm going to list to you the participants involved, and the bracket for this tournament is in the description. Fill out your brackets throughout the entire month of April, and May 1st will be the very first day of the tournament, every other day in May. So every odd day, the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and so on and so forth, will be the first round. The second round, third, quarterfinals, and semifinals, every single day starting June 1st, leading up until we have got our final 2 participants. Those 2 participants will compete in the main event of day 1 of our next 2-day special, Doomsday, taking place June 17th and 18th, or 16th and 17th, whatever that Friday, Saturday is, in the middle of June. But we have got a little ways before we get there, because we've got a huge tournament, singles matches. There's some hardcore matches. There's some Iron Man matches. It's all mixed in there. Let me give you the participants. We've got 2 commentators also. We have got Josh Ageddon's side of the bracket, where he will be joining me in the booth, and he will have his 16 men as part of his part of the bracket. And then A Bizzle, of course, my other commentary partner, he will be on the other side of this equation, which means that you are going to have half of these matches with A Bizzle on commentary and half of these matches with Josh Ageddon on commentary, and of course myself throughout. Let me read to you the names of the participants involved. We have Magus, Waluigi, Eclipse, Freddy Krueger, Bruce Lee, Green Ranger, Nathan Von Schrader, Ken Masters, Agent 47, Oli Cannoli, Dr. Dirty, Symbiote Spidey, Chrono, The Flash, Blue SPD Ranger, and Valiente, all of whom will be on the A Bizzle side of the bracket, and of course, the Josh Ageddon side of the bracket. Your participants are, in no particular order, Wario, Johnny Cage, Neo, Pepsi Man, Penguin, Mr. Incredible, Dave Chappelle, Prince of Persia, Simon Belmont, Smoke, The Joker, Mr. Incredible, if I didn't mention him already, Captain Planet, The Penguin, Pepsi Man, Frozone, Jack Black, Johnny Cage, and Wario, and Eminem. I know I might have repeated a couple of those, but regardless, those are your contenders. 32 men, but this isn't just for just saying that you're the king of the spring. That doesn't really do enough, does it? So instead, we are meshing 2 ideas, because we've been doing some Money in the Bank ladder matches in order to give the winner of same the number 1 contendership at a time of their choosing for the CIW title. Well, we're going to mash that idea with King of the Spring. So the winner of the King of the Spring will get a CIW Heavyweight Championship title shot at any point of their choosing from the time they win it at Doomsday all the way until the year following at about that time. So there is a lot on the line, and 32 men now have a shot at the ultimate prize, at Kratos, the man who has been unstoppable. But can the man who is the current champion, the first winner of the King of the Spring, can he beat whoever might win this tournament? You will find out. And just to whet the appetites a little bit, before we get to May 1st, we've got 4 weeks of Saturday night hype, because we've got 4 matches every Saturday, 1 match per week. And they are going to be huge matches, big name matches of all kinds and creations. Starting with next week, April 8th, we have a TAW TF Championship match as Wario defends his belt against Jack Black, both men in the King of the Spring tournament. We have a fatal 4-way match between 4 of our latest CIW women's division signings, a 4-women battle royal. We have got, and I'm not even going to list the participants of that one. You're just going to have to wait and see what happens. That's the week following on the 15th. And the winner of that battle royal will face a winner of another battle royal at the tail end of King of the Spring in a hype match leading up to Doomsday. And those 2 women will face each other at Doomsday for the first ever CIW Women's Championship. So you do not want to miss Doomsday come that time. The week following, we have a huge one-on-one match as the Greasy Green Gigolos have made a claim that they would like to challenge for the CIW tag titles against the current title holders, the Justice League, Aquaman, and Batman. And while they were not granted a title match, Batman wants to see just what they're made of. So we are getting a one-on-one match, Batman versus Piccolo. A dream match to some, but it is going to be a hell of a match nonetheless. And then finally, right as we get set the week before, just a few days before the King of the Spring starts, Captain Pollution has said, I want to prove that I am worthy as the greatest champion that he currently is. He wants to prove that that means he is a world title contender, bar none, non-discussion, period, at the end of the polluted sentence. And he has made a challenge, a non-title challenge, to our Exceeds champion Noob Saibot, which Saibot has very quickly responded to and said, yes, I will beat Captain Pollution. So the final match in our series of 4 matches of Saturday Night Hype during the month of April will be Captain Pollution versus Noob Saibot. The Exceeds champion in a non-title match. It is going to be quite a month of April, an even bigger month of May, and an even bigger month of June, as we've got title matches. We've got 2 days worth of major title matches and big events. That's in Doomsday, and a month and a half of King of the Spring up to that point. This is the most CIW programming we have put out consistently in a very, very long time, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to bring this to your table. I put this all together because Corleone and Kevin James are off on vacation, so he gave me the clearance to do whatever I needed to do to keep CIW running the way that we know it runs. And so I hope that each and every one of you are as excited about it as I am, and stay tuned next Saturday for the first match of our 4 hype matches leading up to King of the Spring. And again, the brackets are in the description. Fill out a bracket and you will win something. We haven't quite decided what it is yet, but I have talked to Mike, I've talked to our financial team, I've talked to the legal team, and we are going to have a prize of some description that we will announce about midway through the King of the Spring. So come May 15th roughly, you're going to get to hear what the prize is, but you only have a month. If you want to put your name in the hat for that, you will find it in the description. Fill out a prediction bracket, and don't forget to leave your email in it so I know to email you if you win. And if you do win, you are going to receive something very special, and I am very excited to have you guys along for the ride. And before I close out, I just want to make a quick statement about SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, because back at CIW versus TAW, I noticed a few people especially during the main event, talking about how SVR 2007 and how I'm stuck in the past and how I need a new game. I would like to just clarify to all of you, I will never, ever, ever, ever switch games. And I'll tell you what, it's very easy to go, oh, why don't you just play the modern game? Why don't you just do the modern thing? They've got new creations. But if I do that, and I become just like everybody else, using the same game as everybody else, what makes us different? We've made our footprint, our blueprint for CIW off the backs of being stuck in the past then, 9 years ago. But that uniqueness has kept us around. That uniqueness has kept us alive. And even in the midst of a feud with TAW that lasted 8 months, we never changed our identity. Because this is the identity we have forged and we have built and we have grown. And I have no intention of stopping that anytime soon. And besides, half of the glitchy stuff that happens in SVR07 is so damn hilarious that I can't even be mad about it. So that's just my take on the situation. SVR07 is here to stay. CIW is here to stay, and the King of the Spring tournament is coming right up, folks, and it is going to be huge. It is going to be monumental, and it's going to be developmental and instrumental in the growth of CIW as we head towards the WrestleBration next year, our 10-year anniversary, because that's been on my mind. And trust me, folks, we've got huge things coming up in September. We've got huge things coming up in December. And then we've got the biggest week of professional wrestling in CIW history next February. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But you can tell I'm excited because it's all happening now. It's all happening here at CIW. So fill out your brackets and stay tuned for King of the Spring. Folks, we're going to have a king. We're going to have a number one contender. And we're going to have ourselves a hell of a time. And until that time, I'll see you next week.